thank you so much for having me in your channel. I'm very happy to be here tonight.
Thank you.
Aoi is one of my best friends. We've known each other for probably 8 years now. Yeah.
どうも、あおいです。今回はまたスペシャルゲストに来ていただきました。彼女は私が実は8年前にゴールドコーストで会って初めてできた外国人のベストフレンドです。私は8年前に学生ビザで1回オーストラリアに来ていて、その時に通っていた語学学校で彼女に会いました。で、彼女は今でもゴールドコーストに住んでいて、今は語学学校で英語の先生として働いています。その語学学校では彼女が唯一のノンネイティブの英語の先生ということで、どうやって英語を勉強したのかとか、何かアドバイスがあるかとか、彼女がこの8年間ずっとオーストラリアに住んでいたので、その間何をしていたかとかっていうのをインタビューしていこうと思います。Please introduce yourself.
Sure. Hi guys, I'm Rafa from Brazil. I'm half Japanese. My grandparents moved to Brazil after the Second Great War, so my dad was born and raised in Brazil.
In Brazil, what did you do?
In Brazil, before coming to Australia, I was working as a hotel manager. I did that for almost 9 years of my life, and I really enjoyed this job. But at the same time, I was working really hard, probably like 10 hours, 12 hours every day, and I wasn't really happy.
What brought you to Australia?
Living abroad was the biggest dream of my life, so when I turned 25, I decided to travel abroad. I resigned from my job and I started planning my trip to Australia. 6 months later, I came to the Gold Coast, where I am since then.
What have you done in Australia?
Just before my arrival, I met the boss of my sister. At that time, she was working for an American company, and when I told him that I was going to come here, he got interested in opening the branch of the company here. So he offered me a position as a business consultant. So I did that for 2 years and a half. So it was really nice because I was able to study and work at the same time. After this period of time, I thought that the company would give me the sponsorship visa that allows you to get into a path to become a resident in Australia. I had started the process with the CEO of that company, and unfortunately he resigned, so the process got lost. I decided to go back to my previous background, which was in hotel management. I applied for a job at Palazzo Versace, which is an upscale hotel. I started running events and functions, a period of 2 years as well, 2.5 years. At the same time, I engaged a second job in another hotel called Novotel here, which is a mid-scale hotel. And after that, I decided to move on from that career again, start teaching. So I did a course which is called CELTA, which is a Cambridge certificate to teach English as a second language to adults. So back in December 2016, I finished that course. And after 4 weeks, I applied for a job and I got it straight away, which was really amazing. And I've been teaching English since then for every possible nationality, from Europeans to South Americans. I've got lots of Japanese students as well, so Japan is quite close to Australia, so it's very easy for you to come here. I've been very happy since I started this journey because I'm able to connect with my students in many different levels, not only as a teacher. So I established this very strong connection with them because I've been a student, so I know what it feels like and what are, the struggles that we have to go through.
Yeah.
So it's a very pleasant career and very rewarding.
But why did you decide to become English teacher?
So I've always enjoyed learning English. At a certain period of my life, I was ready to move on to a different career, but I wasn't quite sure on what to focus. So I was having a chat with my partner one day, and he proposed this, career change, because of course he knows me really well, and he knows how much I love connecting with people from different countries and also helping people. So I decided to start here.
Okay, so you've been teaching English for 3 years?
It's been 4 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you help lots of Japanese students as well.
Yes, absolutely.
What their common mistakes?
I've noticed that the sound of R and L can be very difficult for some students.
Yeah.
It's also difficult for you to work out the intonation, so to transition from your mother tongue, Japanese, to English, because English tends to have different nuances where Japanese tends to be a bit more of a low pitch kind of language. It's hard for you guys also to use plural forms. In English we have plural and singular forms, so I noticed that sometimes it's really difficult for students to add that S that represents the plural form for many nouns. I've also noticed that you guys find difficult to manage prepositions and the use of articles as well. Yeah.
For you, how have you improved your English?
Okay, so guys, my journey started when I was 9 years old. I remember when my parents came to me and they engaged a conversation about learning a second language. At that time, it was really important already for kids to learn a second language. So my parents decided to pay an extra school for me to attend and go there twice a week. I think the earlier the better, to be honest. I think if I learned as an adult, that would have been more difficult. So from 9 to 17, I studied English, and I was really focused on doing that. I'm very determined, so if I have a goal, I will do my best to achieve that goal. So when I started my journey, because I really enjoy it, I told myself that I would reach, the fluency level, the advanced level, and I did, which was really cool. I learned American English, guys. So it's quite common in schools in Brazil that you learn American English instead of British. Pronunciation of my teachers, I remember trying to speak like them, and I remember the tests and also the homework that they would give to me, and I would always, dedicate probably half an hour or an hour of my day to do the homework as well. So then, after that, 8 years later, I came to Australia. My English was still good, right? Because I started in an early age. Another thing that really helped me was the fact that I wasn't speaking my mother tongue. So I refused to speak Portuguese. There were lots of Brazilians at our school at that time, and I refused to speak my mother tongue to other Brazilians because I was really determined to achieve fluency and proficiency in the language. So for me, what really helped was to be focused, have a goal, practice, really immerse myself to the language. So I would hang out with my Japanese, Korean, Spanish, Italian friends. I was pushing myself really hard to speak English because that's why I came here. So I was trying really hard to stick to my goal all the time.
Create the English-only environment is really important.
Absolutely. I think I notice as well that sometimes when you go to another country, you tend to, hang out with people from your country because that's your comfort zone. So you might be afraid of making mistakes. So if I speak Portuguese to my Brazilian friends, it's easier for me. I don't have to, push myself to learn the language. But the magic happens, guys, when you jump off your comfort zone. So my advice for you, if you ever come to this beautiful country, is to engage not only with international people, which is quite common to find here, engage with native speakers. Okay, so try to do the shadowing technique, which is basically imitating, following what they are saying. So tune in with the slangs that they do, that they speak. Try to speak like them, literally. So when you listen to them, you are also able to improve your listening skills and also your vocabulary. Another hint for you is to read. So when you read, you practice your writing skills as well.
Same as Brazil, in Japan, we are studying English with American English. You came here and have your struggle with Australian English?
Oh, absolutely. So I remember after 3 months living here, I was walking around a shopping center and a lady stopped me. So she was trying to ask for directions and she was speaking a bit fast. I remember not being able to understand what she was asking me. But of course, the reason for that was that I was hanging out with international students and they were also learning the language like me. Teachers at school, of course they are native speakers, but they speak slowly because they know that we are learners. So when you engage a conversation with a native speaker, you can absolutely find yourself at times a bit lost because they have a different pace, right? They're going to speak a bit faster, or they're going to throw in slangs, or they're going to cut some words. So I remember that I felt really bad with myself and I was just like, oh my god, I couldn't understand her. So at the end she was really nice and she was able to speak even more slowly to me and I was able to give her directions. So after practice, 8 years living here and making friends who are Australians, I can definitely say that it's easier for me to understand. It wasn't at the beginning, guys. It wasn't. It took me some time, so it's absolutely normal.
So, like, when did you realize, okay, I'm improving my English? Like, you can speak fluently and you can catch any words.
Yeah. So after my second year, I think I really clicked because, as I said, I was working for this American company. So I would have to write emails in English every day. I would have to have conference calls in English. I was living with international people, but they were all like really good with their speaking skills. So I was really immersed in the language, and at that time I reached a really good proficiency level as well as accuracy. So after my second year I was like, yes, I can do it. Finally, to finish off, I would love to leave a message for you who wants to take a risk, who wants to get out your comfort zones. Do it! You have 2 people in front of you here who has experienced a great deal of English, and not only English. We've met amazing people. We've connected with so many different countries and we are much happier where we are right now, and I feel so happy to catch up again with this amazing girl which I love so much. And actually, can we talk about the time that we met?
Yeah.
Finally. I want to tell you right now how we actually met.
Yeah.
So Ao and I, we went to the same English school. She started a week before me, and I remember we were having our lunch break, and I was getting my lunch ready, and then suddenly, as I was going back to my seat, Aoi is on my way, and she's got this beautiful smile on her. And she comes to me and she's like, "Oh, you're always smiling." And she opens her hands and arms, and she was ready for a hug. So I will never ever forget that day, guys. Yeah. From that moment, I felt straight away that we would become great friends.
Yes.
And here we are since then. So if you come to Australia, you will be able to make an international friend like we are right now. From the opposites in the world, literally, but with so many common interests and with so much mutual respect and love for each other. And that's it.
Yeah, before doing that, you feel like a bit nervous and then like you're afraid of doing like the new thing. But if you do, like it's pretty easy.
Oh
You
yeah.
can see like the new word.
Absolutely.
So just do it.
Just do it.
Thank you for your time, Rafa.
My pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
If you like this video, please subscribe.
Please give your like.
Yes. And bye
Bye. I'm Rafa. I'm 32 years old. Oh, sorry, Kim. Are you gonna?
Okay, I'm gonna. Please introduce yourself.
Sure. So I'm Rafa, and I moved to Australia when I was 22 years old. Oh, that's not true.
So, please introduce yourself.
Sure. So I'm Rafa from Brazil. I'm half Japanese. I have to
Please introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Rafa from Brazil. My father, however, he was that's not true.
Please introduce yourself.
Sure. Aoi. So as I was saying before, stop the video. Cut. 私の名前はラファエラです。Hello, hello.